Oh, don't get all high and mighty, LaRusso. You're the one who taught these kids that my agi crap. It was your student who hurt Diaz. You reap what you sow.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Two dojos are at the center of this controversy. All right, guys. Hey, welcome back to Behind the Lens. And we have another guest on the show. You may recognize him from Cobra Kai Season 3, Episode 1. His name is Rick Perez, also known as Roger.
Our daughter was not responsible.
Oh, don't get all high and mighty, LaRusso. You're the one who taught these kids that my agi crap. It was your student who hurt Diaz. You reap what you sow.
Please have a seat, please.
Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you so much for having me. Really, it's an honor to be here. Thank you.
Hey, man, I want to tell everybody, if you have not seen this yet, so Rick was gracious enough to crash my Facebook live. And by the way, man, you were the very first guest I ever had. I was like, why is that button like thing? I was like, what the heck's going on here? But hey, man, thank you so much. That has got to be like the coolest thing for me to have you jump in, man. So one,
Sure,
I deeply appreciate you making the time, and just welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here. And again, the support of the fandom, if there's anything we can do, we always try to touch as many people as we can, because again, we were fans of the show before we were cast, and just to be able to be part of that, to touch that. I mean, I don't know if you're a Star Wars fan, but it's so crazy. The fandom behind this, if you can get to see like an Ewok, it's like, okay, cool, that's the guy who played. But listen, we're a small part of a grand vision, and we're just we love the experience, and to just express it to the fans, because you guys have supported us throughout the journey. So
man, what is so amazing is this fandom, and I feel like it's gone like 10x in the last year, but the fandom around Cobra Kai is just remarkable, man. I mean, a lot of people that show a lot of love, a lot of people that dig into their dojo too, right? They pick one and that's it. But man, just an amazing journey. What's it been like? So you filmed this a year and a half ago? I mean, it had to be even longer than that.
We filmed in let's see, must have been September, I believe it was.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
And we were slated to release everything. I think it was early April, and then obviously COVID. But it's been a long time coming, and it's hard to be so tight-lipped over all these many months, all the different fan theories and what have you. Of course, behind who they thought I was, or who they still think I am. That's still up for, because there is no last name by my name, so we don't know.
Yeah,
leave it up to the powers that be.
Man, that's awesome. So, man, the goal for today is I definitely want to take people behind the lens. So, kind of learn a little bit about you, a little bit about like how you got into acting, what it's been like, and then kind of just talk about like set life. I think set life and what you guys go through, the long hours, all the multiple takes, sometimes just having fun, and what it's like to experience what it's like on set. So, can you share with us, like, how did you get into acting? Like, what was it, something, a passion that you had? Was it like, how did you get in?
Well, I was always an avid lover of film. My father took me to my first movie when I was 5. I went to see Star Wars in the movie theater in 1977.
Yeah.
And they had it in the Murray Hill Theater in Manhattan. They had a panoramic movie theater at the time. It was 3 screens, and I was a 5-year-old kid going, "Oh my God, this is incredible." And I'm one person that I don't always just look at the screen. I look at the people around. I love to see expressions, and I always read people. And even as a young kid, I was like, you know what? I told my father, "Papi, I would love to do something like that one day, just to make people go, wow." Yeah. And it was something that I kind of, shelved in my mind for a long time. And my mother took me at 13 years old to a cattle call for the Cosby Show back in New York. And I got to meet Bill Cosby and a bunch of people, but I didn't get the role. But it was a great experience, and you got kind of bitten by that bug a little bit.
Yeah.
But it didn't really go anywhere at the time. And then crazy thing happened. I moved to Georgia with my family, and they were filming Ozark. You know that show on Netflix, Ozark, with Jason Bateman?
Yes,
I do. Great show if you haven't seen it. And I saw them filming near my home, and I saw Jason Bateman. I geeked
Jason
out. I said,
Bateman.
"Oh my gosh!" I told my wife, "Look, it's Jason Bateman." He turned around. He ran into his trailer there. But I saw an ad in the local paper that they were looking for extras for the show, and
Yeah.
I took a bunch of Polaroids. I had my daughter take some Polaroids of me, and we submitted them. And I didn't hear back. But one day, a producer called me and said, "Hey, listen, we had a last minute call out. Could you make it to set in 2 hours?" I said, "What?" I jumped out, got
You're like,
clothes
hell
ready.
yes, I
I
can.
booked in it. Yeah, and I didn't have an agent or anything like that at the time, so I just wanted to get in there just to
Yeah.
be part of that, that movie magic. And from that point, getting a featured role on Ozark, and then I joined a company who they hire background actors, and sometimes you get bumped up to core feature actors. Like you see a lot of Cobra Kai, you see the kids. They may not
Yes.
have lines, or sometimes they may get one down the road, but you see them every episode.
Right.
I got that on The Resident on Fox, which is a show on season 3 now, I believe.
Yep.
They're
Right.
starting season 3. So they had me as Dr. Brett Kilborn. And again, networking from one project to the other landed me some great agents. I have a great manager in LA now, and it's afforded me some great opportunities. So I was blessed. And I've done several commercials, several movie projects that are still pending release. A lot of thrillers. I've gotten some great opportunities, and then Cobra Kai obviously is a capstone for me. It's just
Yeah.
incredible experience.
That's amazing, man. See, and like this is the stuff that I love, because you never know when it's gonna happen, but you just have to be ready for you gotta be ready to get off the bench, man. Like your
Oh
time
yeah.
is gonna come, and when it comes, this is what I tell my kids too, because they're a little shy and reserved. Like when your time comes, you
Yeah,
need to be
do it.
ready to step in, man. So that, to me, that like that's just amazing, man, because
Oh,
so often in our lives we miss opportunities, or we think it's too late. We think it's too
mhm.
late to get into things. I'm gonna tell you just a quick story, man, really short.
Please.
I worked in retail for 20 years, made a lot of money as a store manager, and I hated my life. And a year ago, I was like, I'm walking away from this, and I'm going to get into the film industry. I don't care if I have to do
Mm.
coffee as a PA, which I did, things. I
Hey,
got to get out of here, and I'm going to go chase what I want to chase. And this is how you do it, because you open up your own doors, man. I mean,
mhm.
that's just amazing, man.
I was told the same thing. You have to kind of step out of your comfort zone and take that leap of faith if you really want it. Because if you always feel that you have that safety net underneath you, you're never going to fully commit. And it is that leap of faith that gets you to the next level, because you cannot
Yeah,
possibly hold on to just the thing that you thought would you're able to balance the two. It just never works. I've never seen that work for anybody. But
100%.
yeah, kudos to you, man. Kudos, because
Yeah.
that's
Well, my
the
wife
first
is
step is
like,
the hardest one.
what the hell are you doing? I said, I got this. I will figure it out. I didn't have a plan at
Exactly.
all, man. I did not have a plan, but I said, you know what? I'm going to bet on myself. And that's what
Yeah,
I did. I'm going to bet on myself. I'll find a solution. I'll find a way to keep us afloat as I pursue stuff.
sure.
And here we are now, man, together,
Exactly.
it's pretty awesome, man. Now, let me ask you
Great.
this.
Sure.
Because I've seen some of the cast members being asked this. Did you watch Karate? Were you a Karate Kid fan prior to
Absolutely.
this? All right. See, I
Absolutely.
kind of already assumed that. Now,
Hmm.
what about Cobra Kai? Did you
Oh
had
yeah.
you watched it, or
Oh,
when you kind of got the
absolutely.
call?
Well, it was interesting because when I had first started acting just a couple short years ago, and I was a background extra, Cobra Kai had just started, and the company that I was working with to get the background jobs, they were looking for people. I just was never called for Cobra Kai as a background person, and lo and behold, three seasons later, I'm a co-star in the show. It's
There it
crazy, man.
is.
But I was a fan, big time, man. I mean, I was like, people were like, "You have YouTube Red?" I'm like, "Yeah, the show is badass, man. Come
Wait,
on,
you're
man. I
you're
mean,
paying for YouTube? What is wrong with you, right?
but the show is so badass. I mean, it was worth it. It really
How
was,
about it?
man.
Yeah.
Just like XM radio. I mean, I listen to a couple of stations that I do pay a premium, but there's a couple of stations I just have to have. And YouTube Red was I had to have it because Cobra Kai was just totally awesome, man.
I'm 100%. I was in that boat with you, man. I was like, I've never paid for YouTube, but I'm gonna pay for this, and never, it wasn't a disappointment, man.
It
Which kind
wasn't.
of which kind of leads me into like that transition now. So now you kind of get the call. Like, what was it like that process? Did you get the call? Did you audition? Like, how can you kind
Yes,
of walk us through like that
of course.
process?
So my agent, obviously, they find different opportunities for you based on your look or criteria, your background, your expertise, and what have you. And it was interesting. They had sent me, I get auditions all the time for different movies and what have you. And that particular one came across my desk, and I said, "Oh my gosh, this is cool. Let me try out for this." Actually, I tried out for a couple roles, and that one I got. But there was another one. My buddy Major Dodge, who played one of the police officers, the correctional officers, I believe, on episode one. I had tried out for his, and the one that comes up to Billy Zabka and says, "Oh, Applebee's guy," in the beginning, that big cop. I
Yeah.
also tried out for that one too. So a lot of the
Oh,
fans don't know that. So I'm expressing that to you now.
man, that's
So
great.
when I got the role for this one, my daughter helped me audition. She's a theater major, my daughter,
Oh,
and
that's
we
awesome.
did the audition. And I just, we do these things as actors, and you just get into your role. You find a spot where you fit into that, where you think it is, and you just do it, and then you send it off. You send it to the internet, like Billy did,
Yeah.
and then
And
you
you go
leave it
like
alone,
this. You go like this,
and
right?
that's it, and you walk away.
Right.
So I was away. I was out of the country. I was on my 20th wedding anniversary. I left the country with my wife.
Congratulations.
And thank
Congratulations.
you, brother. 21 now. And
There you go.
this is crazy because I had no internet. We said no surfing the web. We're going to be in a place we were in the islands in St. Lucia. And all of a sudden I got closer to the resort where they had internet. And all of a sudden I see all these emails coming through from my agent and saying, "Hey, Rick, we've been looking for you. Where you at?" I said, "I'm off the grid right now." "Oh man, congratulations. You just booked Cobra Kai as a co-star." I said, "Oh my God, can you imagine leaving the
Oh
plane,
my
coming
God.
back to the States?" I mean, literally, I was, "Honey, I'm sorry, I got to go." She said, "Go, baby, go." I have a great family that they back me up
Uh,
100%. I was already, like, within that day, I was already getting, dress rehearsal and all this other stuff. It was
yeah.
nuts. You have to hit the ground running, bro. So it was a crazy, surreal experience, man.
Oh man, that's awesome. And you know what? I do want to tell you that's one, that's an amazing story. It just shows you like you gotta be ready to play when and you get the call, man, you got to go for it. But two, you said
Mhm.
something that really kind of struck home for me too about with your daughter, being, in theater, you know, sometimes we don't, as a parent, like I said, I have like 5 kids. You set the tone for them too. So for you to even chase your dreams, I mean, it's got to be amazing to them to go like, wow, a couple years ago, dad was doing one thing and now he's like on this crazy hurricane ride, right? I mean, what kind of message does that send to your
Oh
kids, you
man,
know?
I get chills when I think about it because it's always been a family affair. I wouldn't be able to be here if it wasn't for my family backing up because it's tremendous sacrifice that's involved with it. A lot of times I'm not home, and then I'm
Right.
working here from my theater off. I have a theater at home. I was blessed to be able to get to this and a sound studio, and I do all this different work. But I've invested in my craft,
Right.
and that's something that you have to all get to at some point if you want to, and if you want to get anything out of your career as an actor or whatever it is, you have to invest in yourself. It's going to cost a little
I
bit of
love it.
money,
Yeah.
but you have to invest in yourself, and albeit outside of the tangibles, also going to a school to refine some of your skill sets is very important as well.
Yes.
And what I call sparring, I have a couple of active friends that of course I'm very close with it. We do our sparring, we do auditions together, we read for each other,
Yeah.
but it brings out that energy. And when you're around like-minded, driven people, it really brings out the flavor. You know what I'm saying?
Preach to me, man. You like hit everything. Like who you
uh,
surround yourself with. You just gave me
indeed.
goosebumps saying that, man. Who you surround yourself with is probably one of the most critical things because the journey that you decide to go on is often going to be challenging, difficult. There's going to be roadblocks no matter what. But when you surround yourself with people that just don't get it, they don't understand like the sacrifice, they don't understand the passion, they don't understand that you don't like you get mad at yourself for going to sleep because you got to prepare for an audition. Like they just don't get that level of commitment. It's
Mhm.
tough, man. Trust me.
It is,
So
bro.
you have to surround yourself with just amazing people, man. It sounds like you're killing it right now, man. You got a good group of
No,
people around yourself.
well, it wasn't always like that. I mean, of course, you go through people you thought were
Oh
friends,
yeah.
and even family at times can be kind of. But the ugly comes out when you start hitting a certain level in your career with this, and you can actually weed out the good from the bad and the
Yep.
authentic from the not so authentic from the fakes. But it's just been a surreal experience for me, man. I'm just
That's so
enjoying the
awesome.
journey.
Dude, I'm
Blessed, bro.
so proud of you. Like, see, I
Thank you,
didn't know
man.
any of that stuff, man. So to hear your journey inspires me. So take
Well,
note, you guys. Take notes right here
thank you, brother. I
because
was I was I was also schooled by other people throughout the way, and I always said I paid forward. And if
100%.
anybody I can help do this, you just give them your knowledge and pay it forward, pass it on because
Yep.
you know, what happens nowadays in film industries, they're doing a lot of remakes and a lot of things that they're trying to rediscover different angles to things. But you know what? The future stars are still out there. And
Right.
if we're not doing our due diligence as artists to pay that forward, what's going to become of the future? What we see on
Yep.
television and in movies, right?
Yep.
So we're a
Uh,
family. We're all in this
100%.
together for sure.
100%, man. This is like, I didn't know you were going to turn into a motivational speaker for me right now, but you are singing to my heart, man. It's like I needed to hear this today. So
Oh, thank you, brother.
that's so awesome, man. So let's kind of move into, so you got the call,
Mhm.
you're like, man, I got to get there. What was it like? So now you've seen Cobra Kai, you kind of know what it's about, the characters and all that, and now you walk on to set.
Mm.
Tell me what that was like.
Dude, I mean, a lot of my other actor friends will tell you the same thing if you interview them. I mean, when you're on a very close set with some of the stars that you grew up with, it is the most surreal moment. I geek out too. I mean, we try not to nerd out too much. We try to keep some composure, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, when Ralph and I and Courtney, we were in our scene, and Erin Danger and Jose Vasquez, who plays the principal. I mean, we're all together talking and just going over, you know, how this is going to play out. And again, some of the techniques you learn in acting school and stuff, you're kind of like feeling each other out, trying
Right.
to get in that essence, and then you're putting it together. It's almost like a ballet, right, or symphony. All the
Right.
different instruments play this beautiful sound, and we have to get this right, right. So I think based on what you were asking before, like with the takes, there's so many different takes. I must have done that scene, which was all of 2 or 3 minutes. It took 50 takes just to get that, because
Oh yeah.
they're doing this scene, this side, close up of me
Close up.
saying it, me getting, and then there's other ways I did it that are not on the show. And then
Yeah.
there are other lines that I also spoke, which are not on the show. So, I mean, but obviously the big three know exactly what they're doing. These guys are
Yeah.
geniuses. I mean, we can all agree that. Everybody can agree on that. This show is as successful as it is, not only because of the artists that are portraying the roles, but these guys wrote this so
Yeah.
perfectly. They
Yeah.
pay proper homage to the original canon, and that's
They
why this it's like lightning in a bottle, bro. You
Yeah,
know?
they have done, and the fans know this, that they have done just a phenomenal job. One, with the characters, but then two, to surprise us
Mhm.
with, the older characters from Karate Kid to the new generation, and it's
Oh yeah.
just been something remarkable. So hats off to the creators and to the whole team, because all of you guys, I know what it's like, from the cameraman to who's doing lights to sound, like it's the whole team,
Bro, the crew
the
is
crew.
so many folks there, just they don't get
Yep.
their proper, you know, kudos. These guys are working tirelessly behind the scenes just to
Yep.
set up, so when we get on set, it's so seamless. But these guys are working countless hours making sure that there's so much preparation involved. And that's why you know, you don't see the seams, right? We talk
Yep.
about, you just see the final cut and that's it. But it really is an arduous task for these guys, and
Oh,
my hat goes off to these guys,
I
bro.
know. I've been
Hey,
on a couple sets. I'm like,
you're exactly, bro.
yeah.
Exactly.
But I want to talk to you about that scene that you did. So the first time I saw this, so I watched it live, right? I just binge watched all through it. I just couldn't help myself. But when I saw your scene, so if you didn't know this before this, I was a little disappointed with Daniel, right? I know he's going through this arc, and I'm like, Daniel, what is wrong with you, right? And all the fans hate me because of that, because I'm like, I want to see the Miyagi come out of him. Come on, guys, give me a break,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But to see someone stand up and just like roast him. Oh my God, I was laughing hysterically. I was like, you go, Roger, you go. I'm sure there are so many
Oh,
people that were like
oh
loving
man.
that moment, but
It was crazy. It was crazy. I've been getting a lot of feedback. There are different takes on it because again, they were kind of, many were disappointed. They wanted to see more of me. They heard a lot of rumors circulating, building up,
yeah,
which may still not be off the table. We don't know. I mean, the
yeah,
writers have their own. You know, they don't even share with us their inner thoughts. So, I mean, that's why they don't give last names to people, as you notice on the show,
yeah,
right?
I know. You're
So,
right.
and a lot of the fanfare is also paid by the big three. We don't, again, we don't know what's in their head, what's for the future. But when they did that scene, it was so intense, and I knew I had big shoes to fill because the show has that kind of that nitrous oxide
Yeah,
energy, right? So I had to make sure I had to raise that bar high. I knew I had the opening scene there with Ralph and Courtney and everybody else. I had an auditorium full of people, You have
Mhm.
to bring out that energy, and you can't just spit out lines. You have to really draw them out. And
Yeah.
it was nerve wracking a little bit in the beginning, but I think the fans really enjoyed it, and it set the tone there for that
Oh
first
yeah.
episode. And like I said, it was just an incredible experience overall, man. I mean, it
Yeah.
was. I felt almost embarrassed. I had to actually, and I'll share this with you and the fans. I mean, I was almost embarrassed. I had to apologize from a personal level to Ralph because I called it Miyagi crap. I mean, that's something that obviously was scripted to be said that way,
Yeah.
but I have total respect for the Miyagi-Do group, and
Yeah.
rest in peace, Pat Morita, and the entire canon. But it was something that and he was a great sport, and
Yeah.
he loved the way I did the scene. So that was really, it felt good to know that he approved, you know?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you because I personally figure that this is kind of how it was scripted in and all that. It gave it like a little bit of edge to say it different to it. Was that like it sounded like Brooklyn style to me. I don't know,
Yes, yes.
right? That's what I heard.
That's the reason why I believe I might have, won that spot,
Yeah,
because I really poured on. I didn't say the, I said the, the
yeah,
Miyagi crack. I kind of gave a little extra Brooklyn because I am from Brooklyn
yeah,
originally,
yeah,
but I usually try to tone it down because a lot of the other roles that I've been involved with, you can't always go in with, hey, ooh,
yeah.
but I think it really called for the scene, and I felt in my
Heck
mind's
yeah,
eye when I did when I auditioned for it, that's who I believe Roger was, and that's a chance you take as an
yeah,
actor. You put it
yeah,
out there in your way, and if you match it up with the casting director and the writers,
yeah.
I guess I won because of that. So thank God I did it that
Man, no,
way.
I think I thought it was great, man, because I really think even just kind of like looking back on the season, like that was the moment where we recognize all was not well. Like in
Mm-mm.
the community literally has now turned on the
Mhm.
LaRusso. So you were like the face of it all completely turning. And we know that it's gonna, go to hell in the next couple episodes, but you were like the face that just like the look on their face to your reaction was amazing because they were just kind of like dumbfounded, like what is happening right now. So man, you did it. Hats off. It
Thank you,
was
brother.
like
Thank
the
you.
greatest thing I have ever seen. I was
Thank
like
you.
laughing hysterically about that. So
Thank you. And my family got a kick out of it too, man.
I know, man.
That's
That's
that's the
that's
most
so
fun about it when you do it, when you watch it back as a family, and a lot of my friends and family out of state. It was just so fun to hear their expressions,
yeah.
man. It's nuts. Their reaction was crazy, but it was good that Roger finally, got to do his part there, and the show was just brilliant. I
Yeah.
I teared up, man, for some of these episodes. They
Oh
were
yeah.
so well done, man. So
Yeah.
well done.
I'm not
God.
gonna lie, man. There was moments where I cried. And I was filming, like watching, and so there's moments I cried, moments I was cheering, and
Mhm.
sometimes all of that was happening in one episode, and I was so just drained because it was just amazing. I mean,
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know what to expect in season four, to
It's
top
supposed to be
that, man.
great. Oh, they always raise the bar, as you can see, man. It's getting
Oh,
better and better.
I believe it, man. But speaking of family, how does it like how does your family feel about this now that they got to see, is it cool that your kids and I'm asking this for a reason. Is it cool
Okay.
for your kids to see like what you're doing? Like what's been their response?
Well, my son, he's like, "Oh, Dad, yeah, yeah." He doesn't really take too much to it, but he thinks it's okay. It's cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But then I catch him, trolling my page on Instagram. But then my daughter, she thought she freaked out because I didn't see it first. It was New Year's Eve. I had partied really hard with my,
Yeah.
and I
As
slept
you
in late.
should. As you should.
We were going to do a watch party,
Yeah.
but again with COVID, it kind of was, a smaller group in my home. I just had immediate family,
Yeah.
and then I didn't see it at 3 a.m. But my daughter saw it, and I got a call. I was doing errands, and she's like, "Dad, it was awesome." And I was like, "Oh man, let me take a look," because we don't always see the
Yeah.
final cut
The
right away.
final cut.
So
Yep. Yep.
a lot of things get edited, but it was really cool to see their reaction, man. To be
Yeah.
honest, it was fun.
That's awesome. The reason why I ask is because none of my kids give a darn about what I'm doing. Like they're like, "Oh yeah, are you filming today? Are you filming today? Okay, we'll keep it down." I say, "Hey guys, come
Oh,
check out this video." They're like, "Nah, it's okay." So I'm like, All right."
well,
To me, I'm
not
just
yet.
yeah,
You
but
you make it one that eventually,
I hope so because I
they'll
will
get into it.
support. And I always told them too, if you guys want to pursue acting, whatever you want to do. I came from chase your passion, chase your dreams, and follow your heart, because you only get one life. So I'm like 100% support. But yeah, they could care less what I'm doing. They're like, man, whatever. So that's why I was just curious. I was curious to see what that was like, man. And I think that episode that you shot, was it Hayden and John that directed that episode?
All three.
All
So
three of them
Hayden,
did.
Josh,
Okay.
Hayden, Josh, and John were there, and again, they're very involved. So as I'm
That's
doing
where I
the
was,
scene, and I'm doing one way, and again, I had many ways in my mind already set. They would come out, and maybe Josh would tell me, okay, Rick, that's good intensity, but say it this way or do this, or is it
yeah,
okay if I do this? Well, we'll do it in this take, and then maybe we'll keep it, maybe we won't. So do it in different ways, and they
yeah.
all kind of gave their input, if that makes sense.
To me, 100%. I think that's kind of where I was going, is because, the director has a vision, and when you have three directors, you have three kind of different visions, and so you gotta kind of, a lot of people don't understand that there's the script, and then there's different ways to do it. There's sometimes they give you freedom to kind of just roll with it, and sometimes there's a very specific vision that they
Right.
have. So that's kind of what I was curious about, is how they kind of operated as directors. Did they give you a lot of
They gave us
freedom?
autonomy. They did give us some
Yeah.
autonomy. And then at the end, they let us play it out. And we kind of like, I temp checked them. Okay, was that okay like that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Do it like that. And we're going to do it again. And if I did another way, they didn't really get on me for that. They just let me do my thing. They pretty much, they gave us liberty. If there was something that didn't look right,
That's
they
awesome.
would just chime in slightly. But I've
Yeah.
worked with other directors that they give you full autonomy. Just go for it. Make it
Yeah.
big. Do whatever do what you do.
Yep.
But these guys were really great. They were
That's awesome.
so professional.
Yeah, that's so awesome, man. Because I think a lot of the character sometimes comes out and just kind of like staying in the moment and just see where it's going, push the boundaries, and so a lot of stuff happens in those moments. So that's really cool to hear, man.
I hear you. Thank you, brother.
What about any upcoming projects? Anything that you have going on right now? I know it's kind of tough because of COVID. I
It's okay.
know,
Yeah.
but anything else going on right now?
So right now I'm working on my first audiobook. I'm doing narration for a 700-page book, a
Nice.
nonfiction about one of the former vice presidents of the country, which is taking a lot of time, but it has got me on my I feel like I'm in an English class all over again, because if they're not enunciating every syllable, every word, they bring you back, and you're reading Old English, Latin, different names from different countries. It's just, my goodness, my mind's like mush when I come
Oh
back from
my
the
God.
studio. But that's an interesting project. I've never done anything like this before, so that's one for my resume, if you will.
Yeah.
And then I filmed this year a thriller that's coming out. They're waiting just for it to be picked up by either Lifetime, Netflix, or something.
Nice.
And I play a good guy, a hero, so to speak.
All right.
It's going to be a really good role, a nice co-star role for this movie. I'm also being cast. I can't speak about this one. We're working on it right now. There's a thriller that should be coming out either maybe next year early, but we're going to be filming hopefully this year once COVID is kind of opened up. I should be playing a pretty good role in that one as well.
That's cool.
And just, I'm keeping it going, man. I mean, whatever comes my way, I go after it 100%.
Yeah, there you go, man. You got to stay busy. One project always leads to the next, right? It always
a lot of
leads
networking.
A lot of networking. I like to ask this question to you guys, is like, do you have any advice that you would give to the viewers that are thinking about, either going into acting? It doesn't even have to be acting. It's just like changing something about their life, maybe changing careers, doing something different. Any advice that you can give them to, what it takes to be successful, or just any guidance it would take to get there, to accomplish their goals?
Well, absolutely. Well, don't be afraid. Fear is the worst enemy you can ever face. I mean, if you really want to do something, like you had mentioned, you have one life. Nobody's guaranteeing you tomorrow. Look at this year that we've had, right? Past year.
Oh, yes.
And we're still going through it a little bit in many cases. And what do you have to lose, right? Many people have lost so much. Just go out and do it. Find the means and find a good backup. If you have a family that's backing you up, that's great. If you're by yourself, just go for it, man. Just don't get hurt doing it, but be calculated. Take calculated risks.
I love it.
But just go there with all your heart, and whatever you do, don't look back. Just look forward, man.
Dude, I love it, man.
Don't let nobody stop you, brother.
Man, is there anything else that you want to say? Because I just want to tell you, man, everything you're talking about, you're singing to me right now, man, because it's just, no, it hits me in the core, because I believe that you have to take risks. You have to get comfortable. I used to say this as a leader, you know, I was in management for about 20 years. You have to get comfortable being uncomfortable, because the moment you become comfortable, you're not growing anymore. And that's where you just get stuck. So, I mean, to me, man, personally, like I deeply appreciate it. But any last words, anything else you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, I just want to tell all the fans, thank you so much for supporting me, even though they didn't know who my character was. Just the fact that they've allowed me to come into the Cobra Kai family, and who knows where Roger is in the next few seasons. We don't know. I hope I'll be back. But thank you all. I love you all. I try to reach back to people, reach out to me. Many times it's difficult. It's not that I don't see it, but we're just very busy. But I always try to touch the fans, because we're nothing without you guys. And I hope that when things open up, you'll see us all at a Cobra Con near you. So there's a lot of things working behind the scenes. And, you know, look me up on Instagram, look me up on Facebook. I'm also on cameo.com. And again, just thank you for your support. Cobra Kai never dies, never dies.
There we go, man. Well, you are always welcome back, and I hope you come back when you have projects, man. I mean, whenever you want to come back, the door is always open. And just once again, thank you so much, man, for reaching out to me on Facebook.
My pleasure, David.
It's just been amazing, man. So stay tuned, you guys. I'm gonna put all the links in the description. Go support Rick. Check out his Instagram. All of that stuff. And just once again, thank you, brother, so much. And thank you for giving it to LaRusso, man. It was awesome.
That's right. You reap what you sow, LaRusso.
You reap what you sow, man. All right. Thanks a lot, brother. We'll see you soon.
Take care. Bye-bye.